what happens if I find myself in a conversation or in a situation where I'm interacting with someone who I sense that they might be a narcissist and I don't really have a way of getting myself out of it?
So the number one thing is it's important to know that what you're feeling is true to you. We're not focusing on the other person. Is he actually a toxic person? Is she actually a narcissist? It's not what we're focusing on. If I feel unsafe or if you feel unsafe, that's enough to self-validate and say this is not working for me. Now, how to actually manage in such a situation, I'm going to turn it over to you because you developed this course, this idea called PIN, which is personal identity navigation. And I want to hear from you how this works.
Yes. So we actually talked about this in a previous video, how the way to heal from narcissistic abuse is to find your identity, because that's what narcissists are out to destroy. And through years of healing and looking into all different kinds of personality types and understanding psychology and how narcissists work and the purpose of pain and what the purpose of life, what's the purpose of life filled with pain, and everything, really, really understanding everything, understanding the purpose of religion and everything. Um, I I realized it all comes down to understanding what our identity is. And that's the hardest thing for us to do, and there's a reason for that. Um, because there's balance in the world. There needs to be balance. So if we would come down to this world and just know what our identity is, we could just fulfill our purpose, and then, there would be no challenge in life. So we need our identity to be able to fulfill our purpose. So I've developed this new method of how to discover your identity. Not just to discover your identity, there are people who can tell you who, not many, but some people can tell you who they are without their roles, without anything external. What do you do with that knowledge? What do you do with that knowledge? So, in the case of this, when you're interacting with a narcissist, when you know yourself so well and you're so full, you feel so valuable, your self worth is intact. First of all, no one can attack you because you can immediately sense that if someone tells you something about yourself and you know it's not true, you just know it's not true. You know that this person is lying. Also, when we know ourselves so deeply, we know that only we really know ourselves, and it's not possible for someone to know me better than I know myself. So no one can make me feel a certain way. I have the power to really be confident in myself. Now, the more we know ourselves, the more we can understand other people. Because one of the methods that I use in my modality is to understand that the ways we cope and the way we behave is very much a reflection of our identity. So when we get to a certain level through this modality, we can actually look at people, watch their behavior, and get clues to what's going on there.
Internally.
Yeah.
So you said it's very hard to know your identity. But through the course, through this modality, it actually becomes very easy in like 10 steps.
Yeah.
Within an hour.
Well, I wouldn't say it's easy. It's clear.
It's clear.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
So we know the Nabi says, Ani Hashem lo shunisi. I Hashem, I have not changed. And we have the mitzvah to go in Hashem's ways. So we're not Hashem, but we could use that idea of not to be unchanged, to develop ourselves to a level where we don't get bothered by other people's opinion and views on ourselves.
Yes. So part of my method is that in the way that I approach this getting to know yourself is that you become aligned with God, with Hashem, and you literally develop an intimate relationship with Him, and you know that it's unbreakable. You literally feel unbreakable. Nobody's opinion matters anymore.
So where can someone understand this?
I want to just add one more thing, is that I used to struggle with, but if I don't listen to other people's opinions, then how am I going to know what I need to work on? Right?
Right.
The world is a mirror. Through this method, we develop the ability to simply look inward and take everything from ourselves. When we become so aligned, we know what we need to work on. We really, really, really do.
So what kind of person find out?
So I'm running a workshop next week, Wednesday, for women. It's going to be about a 2-hour workshop to teach you this mindset. It's going to change your life. Registration closes on Friday because I did give some pre-work to the people who registered, and it takes a few days of self-reflection to do this work so that you're prepared for the workshop. So I'm closing registration on Friday. It's $50. This is the one and only time it's going to be this price. There are limited spots available. So I'm going to post the link in the stories. The link is in my bio on my Instagram too, which is Hope in Hindi. There's a link tree there, and it's the first link in there.
Right. And I'm also running a course for men in different stages in life. So it's gonna be in the next slide. We're gonna have the course for men, for Bukhram in dating, in Shrikham, for men in dating again, unfortunately or fortunately, and then for men in the workforce that are trying to find themselves, and for men post toxic relationships.
Yes, because it works very well for people who struggle. Well, whether you survive narcissistic abuse or not, I feel like in general people tend to struggle with finding a job that really fills them, that really they're passionate about. That's because they lack that sense of identity. With getting married, knowing what to actually look for, most people rely on attraction, but then you might be attracted to something based on a trauma or something rather than what actually fits with who you are internally, and now who you are, your identity, is something that never changes. So when you find someone based on your identity, you love who you married forever. You don't fall out of love, and you don't have to work on that love because it fits who you are.
It feeds your identity.
It feeds your identity, yeah, always.
Would you say someone that knows their identity has more confidence?
Definitely.
Why?
You know what you want in life. Because you know what. So through this modality also, you learn what your actual needs are, and you stop chasing external things. And also, another amazing thing about this is that if you struggle with certain negative tendencies or you attach yourself to negative labels, we flip it. We turn it into positive when we figure out what does it say about your identity.
Enough said. The rest is in the course.
Women next Wednesday. Men, go to his website. He has a few options. Highly recommend you sign up. This is revolutionary, and you want to be part of history.